everybody, and welcome back to Huffoto Presents the podcast. My name is Brian Huff, and it's the first weekend of April. Oh, we made it through March. 4 conventions in a row, and I cannot thank everyone enough for coming out and making them amazing, every one of them. We had so much fun, and now we're cruising into April, which is going to be a little bit different for us because we only have Superhero Day. Now, if you guys haven't been to Superhero Day, you really need to check that out. This is a really fun event. It's April the 27th. But we won't be doing our next convention until May the 4th. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to be sitting around bored. We got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of projects in the works. And as I'm sitting here, I just finished up the final touches on the April magazine, which will be coming out this morning as you're listening to this podcast. If you're listening to it on April the 5th, Friday, 2024, you will be able to go to huffoto.com and click and see the latest installment of Huffoto Presents the magazine. I'm very excited for this copy. This is the largest edition we've done so far. 34 pages. I think there's over 60 cosplayers featured in this magazine. Now, side note, if you were in a March Comic-Con and you won something, there were a lot of conventions, there were a lot of winners. We literally could not fit everyone that we wanted to feature into one magazine. So if you don't show up in April, that means you're going to show up in May. So we're already putting together May. We're already working on the content. And I'm excited because I personally have come up with another idea for the magazine. I guess maybe not so much as another idea is another way to look at how I'm doing things. So I was fortunate enough to photograph a concert this week in Memphis, Tennessee. A group by the name of Burn the Witch actually asked me to come out and hired me to shoot their show. There were a couple other bands there, but I was there to actually work for them, and they're amazing. I've seen them before live. I really enjoy their work, so I was very excited to get to work with them. And I got some photographs that I was really excited about, and one of them you're actually going to see in the April Huffoto Presents. Music concerts give me a chance to sort of play, and by that I mean I get to experiment with camera settings that would not normally be used. Just to give you an idea, some of the photographs involved people in the band either being still or being in motion, or people in the audience were either still or in motion. Both of the subjects in these two areas of the photograph were in completely different lighting scenarios. You know, the guys on stage are lit pretty well. The guys in the crowd, there's no light on them at all. So I found myself pushing camera settings, like my ISO. I think at one point I shot with 32,000 ISO. And I really wanted to see just what I could get to come out of it. Now, this was a rock and roll, this is a heavy sort of metal group, right? So shooting these photographs, and if they came out a little noisy, or they came out a little distorted, or they came out a little granulated looking, I felt like it really fit with the scene. Plus, I edited these into high contrast black and white photos. There's something about music photos to me personally that when you strip away the color, you know, there's something more powerful there when you're just looking at contrast on the page or on the screen. And so that's what I did. And they played 5 songs. And I think I shot like 975 shots. in those probably 15, 20 minutes. And I think I edited about 275 of those into finished works. And you'll find them if you go to Facebook and you search Burn the Witch, you'll find the photographs. The band's actually posted a lot of them. And so I'm super excited about that. There is a chance in May that I will get to shoot another concert for another band in Nashville. I'm not going to name it yet because it's still, I'm waiting for confirmation. So anyway, April, we have got stuff going on in April. We've got Superhero Day. We've got I've got some really cool projects that I'm working on with a tattoo company that's nearby, and I'm very excited about those. I don't want to let that cat out of the bag just yet. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping to have that main artist on here so we can discuss some of that. My stories this week, or I'm sorry, this month, this April in the magazine, sort of the main theme was breaking the rules of photography. So there's a lot of rules is kind of a hard word. I think there's a lot of suggestions in photography of how to actually compose your images. You'll hear the rule of thirds a lot, and then when it comes to color, you'll hear white balance. There's so many different things in digital, and there's so many similarities in digital to film as well. A lot of the terminology is the same. Just basically, the main difference is we've replaced the film with a digital sensor that can be adjusted. Back in the day, you bought a speed film, and that film determined how low of light you could shoot in and still get a proper exposure. And now back then, you knew if you bought 1600 speed film, you could shoot in a dark room, but you were going to have really grainy photographs. The grain in film is a little different than the noise we get from digital. I always think of digital like the volume on a stereo. You can turn the volume up so loud, but you're going to get to a point where it starts to distort. And it's kind of the same thing with your digital sensor. But here's a trick. If you're worried about having to push your ISO, now I'm talking about newer mirrorless, newer DSLR cameras that have come out in the last, I'd say, 5 years, okay? So anything 2019 to now, the sensors are incredibly forgiving when it comes to low light. So what I found is if you push your ISO to say 6400 and then you just barely underexpose, it seems to me, of what I've been able to pull out in my editing software, I mainly use Lightroom by Adobe, you can now refine those images with the new denoise setting and make it look like it was shot at ISO 200. Now, it takes some time. You don't want to have to go through 1,000 photos and denoise them. Trust me, this is not something that you actually want to sit there and do. That takes a long time. And I'm using a Windows computer. I've got 64 gig RAM. I've got a Ryzen 7 AMD processor, and I've got 4 terabytes of solid state drive in this laptop, and it's running an RTX 3060 NVIDIA graphics card, and it would still take me hours to denoise 1,000 photos. So trust me, you don't want to go down that path. But taking the moment to push your camera settings to play with different scenarios of motion and in lighting can really be rewarding, and you can get some really cool stuff. Anyway, photographing music, one of my favorite things, because I like that I don't have any control over the performers. I usually don't have any control over the lighting. It's just merely getting into this situation and trying to find a photograph in the moment that sort of tells the story, but two, with these last photos I did, I wanted to do more than tell the story. I kind of wanted to capture what it felt like to be in that room and kind of capture the energy of that room in a photograph. So that was kind of my goal, to be able to do that. And I think it came out pretty well. I quite honestly, there's some of these photographs that I think I want to blow them up and see them printed pretty large. And I think that's another thing too that we don't do enough of these days. We don't print our own work. You really should look at printing your work. Prints go on sale a lot of places, and it's to sound funny, but Walgreens actually does a decent job of printing, and they run sales all the time. Not sponsored, by the way. As a matter of fact, I'm not sponsored by anyone. Um, that being said, if you want a sponsor, just give me a call. We'll talk. This is episode 12. I did not have an episode of the podcast last week because I was a guest on another podcast. I was on the Ice Cream Queens live podcast, and if you go back, you can actually check out their episode on YouTube and Facebook. You can rewatch those episodes. I was on a panel with a bunch of guys that I'm friends with, and we discussed AI. And I thought it was a fantastic discussion. It was like an hour long, and I feel like we scratched what was a very big surface. And I'm hoping we get to do a part 2 to that, because I really enjoyed speaking with everybody on that panel. It was a lot of fun. And I learned a lot too. And I hope you will too. If you take a watch, leave a comment. Follow and like and subscribe to Ice Cream Queens. They have some really fun content. This one was less fun, I guess you'd say, and a little bit more informative, but it was still, we still threw some jokes in there and had some lighthearted fun. So, yeah, you should enjoy it. Anyway, next convention is going to be May the 4th in Germantown, Tennessee, Beyond Con. So we are going to be there at Beyond Con. If you hadn't got your tickets, get your tickets. From what I've understood, there's lots of people that are already preparing to come there to cosplay. We are very excited to be set up at this one doing photographs. Also, they're going to have mystery boxes for sale, and we're going to have some giveaway prizes inside that mystery box. And make sure you buy one of those mystery boxes. They will sell out. They're definitely going to be worth your investment. Oh, what else? Man, okay. So, new announcements for Comic-Cons. November 2nd, it looks like we're going to get another Corinth Con. I'm going to see if I can get Austin to come down here and jump on the podcast and let us all know what is going on. Are we going to have 2 Corinth Cons? Or is it moving to November? What's happening? Fill us in. November 2nd, Corinth Con, number 2 for this year. So, looking forward to that. November 9th and 10th, Monster Con, a new horror convention coming to Memphis, Tennessee. Make sure to check that out. They are doing guest announcements, and it looks like it is going to be a blast. I'm just sitting here rattling these things off the top of my head. Why am I doing that when I actually have a schedule? Where's the schedule, you ask? It's online. It's in the magazine. So I'm going to sit here and thumb through the magazine and find it. Yeah, because I'm prepared, right? I'm I'm a professional. All right, where are we? June the 19th through the 23rd, I'll be in Dallas, Texas with the ITA Model and Talent Expo. Back up. May the 4th is Beyond Con. May the 24th, I'll be at the Beltane Masquerade Ball, a night in the Fairy Court. That's going to be at the Black Lodge in Memphis, Tennessee. So we're going to be doing photos at this Fairy Court. So that sounds like it's going to be really cool. Everybody's going to be dressed in like Victorian ball gowns and fairy stuff and everything. And that should be a lot of fun. July the 12th through the 14th. Folks, you don't want to miss the Hi-Ya Nation Paranormal Horror Con going on in Paragould, Arkansas. Scared City Productions is going to have this one, so you need to go find it online, get those tickets reserved. Hotel rooms, I think, are gone, but in the main hotel where everybody's staying, but there's plenty of others close by, and lots of cool stuff going on with the Scared City Productions. Hi-Ya Nation presents Paranormal Horror Con in Paragould 2024. Nerds Assemble in Jonesboro, Arkansas. We'll be there July 27th, 28th. Smoky Mountain Fan Fest, our first time going to Kingsport, Tennessee, August the 10th and 11th. This is a massive convention with a huge celebrity list, so very excited to go check that one out. Then coming back home for NerdvanaCon in Oxford, Mississippi on August the 16th and 17th, and Covington Con on August the 23rd and 24th. And wow, just realizing how many of those are in a row again. You know what? That's fine with me. I would rather be running. I'd rather be running. And you know what? Every weekend I get a chance to hang out with amazing people and amazing artists. I mean, sign me up. I'm there. And so anyway, oh, not sure if you can hear the sirens in the background. And they're going on by. So not for me today. All right. So that's what we're looking at right now, schedule-wise, and that I'm sure is going to change. As I'm just now looking, the April magazine's already gone out. There's already changes to the schedule, and so May magazine is going to see some changes. April is actually a comic book sort of themed magazine. We've got we've got a makeup column for your favorite makeup TikTok artist, geeky gothic gamer girl. Miss Lauren Knight is in there, and she's got another great makeup tip article for you this month. And yeah, I'm pleased. I'm excited for this month's installment, and I hope you are too. You guys drop me a comment and let me know, hey, how's it going? Are you enjoying it? Also, I'm going to leave a link down in the description of this podcast to the Ice Cream Queens YouTube video where you can go and check out their content as well, and it's a really fun time over there. All right, guys, that about does it for me right now. I am going to get back to work and get things rolling for May. That's funny. I have to work a month in advance. So, yeah, April is done now, and now I'm working on content for May in April. I know, it's a lot to keep up with, but don't worry about it. I got it. All right, folks. So, this is Brian Huff with Huffoto Presents, the podcast Beyond the Lens. Thank you so much for joining me here every week. And if you need anything photography related or you want to advertise in our magazine, give us a shout. Go to Huffoto.com and you can find all of our links there. Thank you and have a great day.